Hi, how are you? How was your week? My week was okay. It's a quiet week, and it's only Wednesday. It's a week where we have to get ready for next week for school starting. So that's what I'm kind of trying to do get everything ready for next week so we can go away. I was thinking, and Kenny and I were talking about how I talk about Kyle. And I realize, and I do it on purpose, I can't say her name, I can't talk about her in the past tense as if she doesn't exist anymore. I can't, because she does. To me, she does exist. And so that can be a little confusing for somebody listening, because they're like, well, she passed and now she's not here anymore. There's more to it than that, isn't there? It's not that simple. At least not for me. It's not that simple. So I wondered what the Bible says about it, what God thinks about when somebody no longer can breathe or is not here. Do they exist? Or is that the end? And some people do believe that. I cannot do that. That's my girl. I can't do that. No. So let me find something that tells me that it's okay and it's true that she still exists. So I looked it up in the Bible, and Matthew 22, verse 32 says, God said, I am the God of Abraham and the God of Isaac and the God of Jacob. God is the God of living people, not dead people. So if she's in heaven and she's living with God, she's alive. She's not alive here, but she's alive up there. And maybe she can understand that there is a here. That got a little deep. Philippians chapter 1, verses 21 through 23. To me, the only important thing about living is Christ, and even death would be profit for me. If I continue living in the body, I will be able to work for the Lord. But what should I choose? I want to leave this life and be with Christ. Not, I want to leave this life, period. I want to be with Christ. Luke 23, verse 43. Then Jesus said to him, listen, what I say is true. Today you will be with me in paradise. The Bible's telling me when you leave this place, you go to another place. You still exist. You're not past tense. You're present tense. You're here. You're alive in a different way. Are there more? I don't know. Let me look. There's stuff all over the internet about this, and basically it comes down to what you believe. And what I believe is that she still exists, that she's still here in some way. And not only that she exists, but she exists within our frame of reference, that she knows that her daughter's growing up. She knows that she's a talker. She knows that her niece looks just like her. It says, for a grieving parent, speaking of a deceased child in the past tense can feel like erasing their presence and the enduring love you have for them. So some reasons why you don't want to use the past tense, like me, means the love is still present. It didn't end. I don't not love her anymore. I will always love her. She's there. She's part of us. To remember her. If I start saying when she was here, when she used to do this, then I'm not, it makes it easier to not remember. And I don't want to not remember. I need her to know this isn't going to make a whole lot of sense. It's not going to make a whole lot of sense, but here it is. If I thought she didn't exist anymore, if I thought that once the heart stopped beating, that she didn't exist, then I would have no connection in the way that I feel it with my church, with Jesus, with God, with the Bible. The Bible's saying, God, Jesus are saying they still exist. And some parts of the Bible tell you they exist in a place. There's a guy named Stephen from the Bible. I've never heard of him, but he was dying. And he looked up and he saw Jesus. He saw him. It wasn't like he knew in his heart it was Jesus. He saw him. I'm starting to yell. If this guy who made it into the Bible saw Jesus and somebody with him, then my daughter exists. And maybe not even just in someone's mind, and maybe not in just this like ghost thing, but maybe as a real person, just in a different place, but a place that's connected. The music just drove by. Maybe I'm right. I get that people are going to say, you're just grief-stricken, and this too shall pass. I do not want this to pass. I want it to continue going. I want to know that when her dad passes, he'll be with her. I want to know that when I pass, I will be with her and with Jesus and Grammy and Elizabeth and Kenny's mom and dad. I want to know I will be there with them and that they will be there and I will know them because I will be able to see them. This part of life, the part where, however you look at it, where it ends or it goes on to a different place or whatever, this is not simple stuff. This is not, okay, you told me believe, I believe. It doesn't work that way. It's what I can believe, what I can handle. And what I find evidence of. You're not supposed to have to find evidence. You're supposed to just know that in your heart that it's true. It's not that simple, but I try to do that all the time, but I don't always do it. But if I find something in the Bible, which I did, and it tells me you could still exist, then all the babies that I know that didn't quite make it, all the family and the friends, especially the ones in the last couple of years, that we can still see them and still be with them, I'm going with it. So I'm not going to use her name in the past tense. I am not going to say that she died. I'm not saying it. Because she's alive. In a different place, but alive. A lot of people believe what I believe. And Ed Sheeran, who I really love, wrote a couple of songs, but this one's called Visiting Hours. I wish that heaven had visiting hours, so I could just show up and bring the news that she's getting older, and I wish you'd met her. The things that she'll learn from me, I got them all from you. Can I just stay a while and we'll put the world to rights. The little ones will grow, and I'll still drink your favorite wine, and soon they're going to close, but I'll see you another day. So much has changed since you've been away. I wish that heaven had visiting hours so I could just swing by and ask your advice. What would you do in my situation? I don't have a clue how I'd even raise them. What would you do? Because you always do what's right. Can we just talk a while till my worries disappear? I'll tell you I'm scared of turning out a failure, and you'd say, remember that the answer's in the love that we create. So much has changed since you've been away. I wish that heaven had visiting hours, and I would ask them if I could take you home, but I know they'd say that it's for the best. So I will live life the way you taught me and make it on my own, and I will close the door, but I will open my heart, and everyone I love will know exactly who you are, because this is not goodbye. It is just till we meet again. So much has changed since you've been away. Okay, so Ed Sheeran believes me. Ed Sheeran feels the way I do. You feel the way you feel, and I respect that. And if it gets a little confusing the way I talk, just keep in mind, I truly believe she is still alive, maybe in a different place, maybe with my friend Elizabeth and Bobby and Uncle Dick, but she's alive. I don't want to confuse people. I just want to know, you to know that this is what I believe. And that's why I talk the way I do. So you have a good week. And you talk the way you want to talk. Because we all have our own way of loving our babies. And I love you. And I miss you a lot. But we'll be together soon. Have a good weekend. Love you.